Hey everybody, this will be the final episode of Season 16, and we'll be back at the start of August for Season 17. As normal, that's how it usually goes. There'll be a few weeks break in between, in which we'll do some bonus content and various things like that. You know the drill. What I wanted to say was, one of the episodes we'll hopefully do, on a suggestion from someone in the Discord, is to do a bit of a listener mail AMA-style episode. So during the break, we'd love to do that, but to do that, we need specific questions. So, if you have any questions you wanted to ask, things you wanted to get our opinions on, or ask about behind-the-scenes things, or talk about, or anything, any questions you've had about Escape This Podcast, or Solve This Murder, or anything that we really work on as Consume This Media, you should email those in. You can send them to escapethispod@gmail.com, and in your subject line, if you include 2025 AMA for Ask Me Anything, we'll answer those as part of an episode during this season break. Any burning questions, that's where to send them. And hopefully we'll cover as many as we can. Maybe nobody will send anything in. Maybe we've answered all your questions already. In which case, that episode's not going to happen. And maybe we'll have so many questions we won't be able to get through them all, but we'll try our best. All right. Thank you so much. Let's get on with the show. Welcome to Escape This Podcast, a show that's a mix between tabletop role-playing and escape room puzzles. This is Season 16, Episode 11, depending on how you count the episodes. I don't count the post-shows as real episodes. It's the 11th one.
And boy, oh boy, are you in for, well, more content, less content?
I don't know. So this is an idea we had as the final sort of room. You can hear the quotation marks I'm doing over the word room of the season, the final thing. Dani, you had this idea.
I did.
And I feel like we kept having discussion back and forth as to what this actually would look like.
Up until about the last 30 seconds, I'd say. Apparently, I said something, I went, this is perfectly clear. And you went, you mean this? And I went, oh, that's not what I meant. Okay, we need to double check this.
So what you're about to hear is you're going to hear each of us play a mini escape room that the other has designed. As of the recording of this right now, we have not done that design. What's the plan, Dani?
We are each going to do one.
Yes.
So you're going to get 2 rooms here.
Again, those rooms have big quotation marks on them.
We are going to randomly pull what the setting of that room has to be from a deck of cards.
Yes.
A deck of cards known as the room deck from the board game Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Yeah, so we're going to pick a room. We figured that's the best way to randomize a room. A fake house, a fake haunted house full of randomly generated rooms. We'll pick one and we'll see how it goes.
Not that the room that we have to write about is haunted house.
Yes, be clear. Whatever we draw,
if we pull
it's
a
like
bedroom, it could be a normal bedroom.
Any kind of bedroom. We're not doing the room that is on the card, as in the specific room that is drawn on the card from Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Particularly inspired.
Oh, yeah, maybe we will. But we're not, all we're doing is using it as a jumping point to design a room. But why is it going to be a small little half hour, like a mini room experience? Because we're each going to take only half an hour to design the room. That's all we've got. We have one.
We're going to see how much can actually be done in that. My problem is, if this is a success, that's going to make me feel real bad for everything else I've ever done, which has taken me a lot longer than half an hour.
It should be fun. It should be fun. Here's what I think. It'll be more fun than it is successful.
Do you have any strategies? Have you thought about this going in?
No, I haven't thought about it at all.
My only concern is that I've said this many times. When I write these rooms, setting comes first. Well, that's going to be taken care of for me.
Sure.
Then story, drawing little pictures of what has to be in the room, and the puzzles come last.
But if that's the case, we're not going to get to the puzzles.
There is every chance that you end up in this room and every single puzzle is the same cipher.
Well, we've got
I might panic.
That's a very small amount of time. What's going to happen now? No, I'm intrigued. We're going to do half an hour each, not simultaneously, because we're going to record it. And for people who are on our Patreon, you'll be able to hear the raw audio of us designing.
Yeah, we'll try to narrate our process.
For people who feel like they're missing out, it will probably be very,
It
very
might be
bad to
awful.
listen to. But that's what we're going to give for the patrons. We usually give the playtest audio. In this case, we'll give you the design audio. There will be no playtesting. But we're going one after the other. Do we want to both see what the room is now?
No, because I think that would be cheating for one person, because one person would sit down right away and have to start writing, and then the other person would just get to go slack off for half an hour thinking about it.
You're right. Okay.
So I've got the whole deck of betrayal room cards in front of me, all floors, not the main entrance hall sort of things, though, none of the blank ones, because we'd be able to spot them. It's been a while since we've played basic old school version 1 Betrayal. Any rooms that you really want or really do not want?
We discussed before that you really didn't want collapsed room, which is just a hole in the ground.
Yeah, that's bad. Bloody room, I don't love either. There are only so many things you can do with that.
I think I kind of like statuary corridor sounds pretty good.
It does, doesn't it? Just a hallway with a bunch of statues
Even
in
coal chute, I don't mind.
Oh,
If we draw
you're
coal
a crazy
chute,
person.
I picture it being a long time ago. We live streamed all the Nancy Drew games, and in the second one we ever played, Blackmore Manor, there is a single puzzle that involves going down a slide, and I think the
Yeah,
entire
that's
room
true.
would be that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, here's what I think we should do, Danny. Before we get into the main thing, we should draw.
Oh, we should do some practice draws?
We should not just an idea, just burn a couple. So
Okay.
we're not going to do the first one. We're not going to do the second one. We will do the third one, but we're not going to know what that is yet. So
Alright.
what's
Well, rather than randomly picking from the deck, I'll just take what's on the top.
I
to
suppose
see
so. What's on
there.
top?
So what we are ruling out, the room
This
that
is
we are
not going to
doing.
happen, everybody. We're not going to randomly
Oh,
generate
that's
this.
a shame.
Oh, what was it?
The game room.
Game room. That would have been a good. But we've already done that in Descent of the Coloureds.
You've done a lot of these in Descent of the
Yeah, I
Culledons,
know.
Billy. But take a look at this game room tile. It has so much inspiration going
big
for
bear
it.
rug, a chessboard. Oh, so it's for game and game. It's a
Yes,
game
it's
room to
both-
play games,
yeah.
but there's also antlers on the wall, a big mouth Billy Bass in the corner. Yeah. So again, if we were doing this wouldn't necessarily be the map that we would use, but it would be the idea,
Just gives
the
lots of
setting.
inspiration
But we're not
points.
doing the game room. It's gone. It's dead. Get rid of it. Get out of here. For anybody who's not played Betrayal at House on the Hill, it's like Blueprints, but with no puzzles. Next
Much
one.
more death. Would you like to draw one?
All right, here's another one we're not doing. Oh, the arsenal.
Oh, I
There
don't know.
are
I don't
guns
remember that one.
everywhere in this room. There's a sea mine in the corner,
A what? Like an undersea.
an underwater sea mine.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you see mine? That's
it
the
just
sea
looks
mine.
like a giant ball and chain.
But it's not. That's a sea mine.
Yeah.
So we're not doing the arsenal either. What we are doing
Could work with that.
is the third of these rooms. Throw that away, Danny. I don't need this arsenal. We're going to draw. Don't flip it.
No, we're
Just-
not going to flip that.
I'm going to
Oh,
take it.
you're going to take it from the top of the pile and then take something
Oh,
randomly.
take one randomly?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
here we go. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not even going to shuffle. I'm just going to cut. I'm going to cut the deck. Danny, can you put this big pile away? It's
Okay.
not in this pile.
Okay.
I'm going to cut the deck again. Danny, can you take this pile away? It is not in that pile.
All right, I'm afraid.
Now I'm going to shuffle these a little. These are all just big square cardboard pictures of rooms. And we are doing. I'm not even going to look at what rooms, whether it's a basement only room,
Of course
whether
not.
it's
That
a
would be cheating.
attic room. Here we are. It's this one.
Okay.
It is basement only.
That's exciting. Basement only has some good rooms.
It could be terrible. This is the room that we're going to do. Now, we're going to take a break from this live recording. You won't know because it's a podcast. It's edited. It's going to cut right to when we're done. But we are each going to take half an hour. Who would like to go first?
How are you feeling? How's your
I think I
energy?
could do it.
Okay.
I could go first.
All right.
We are each going to take
Guess
half
I'll
an hour.
leave.
The audio of us doing that's a patron exclusive, but there will be a post-show debrief, as normal, a podcast, This Escape, where we'll talk about how that all went design-wise and how the whole process went. But we're going to each take a break, and when we come back, it's time to play 2 mini half-hour designed escape rooms. All right, see you soon, everybody. All right, we are back from our designing hour, half an hour each of design.
How did you feel?
Well, first of all, why don't we announce to people what room tile we pulled
Oh, okay,
from the
certainly.
deck of rooms.
Such a room, this one.
Yes, right. We thought we'd pull a tile that's really a kind of like a room in a house, a corridor, a bedroom. You can hear the ones that we did examples of an hour ago for us, minutes ago for you, and we drew the cave. It's
Yeah,
a
we just
cave,
got a
everybody.
cave.
It has nothing to do with being in a house. Our random room generator generated us a cave.
The upsetting part for me is just a few months ago I was writing a room based in a cave, but it was a commission room, so not a public one, and just trying to not use anything from that.
True. I forgot that wasn't an actual episode that we recorded. It was a commissioned room.
So I could have
That's
cheated.
funny,
I could have cheated.
I was
hard,
thinking about
but
it a
I
lot
didn't.
during my design as well. So we should go into it. We need to decide, Danny. We each now have a room crafted in half an hour. I don't know how long they'll take to play. They might take 5 minutes to play. They might take an hour each to play.
Mine
oh
is
my gosh.
definitely not. It's probably going to take 15 minutes, if that. It's, not
It's a tiny room.
surprisingly small. And I don't have a write-up for it, so I can't elaborate on things particularly well.
Do you want to go first?
Mine's pretty stock standard,
Maybe
so
you go first. Mine's weird.
that feels like it should go second then.
Mine's weird.
But that's also unfair because it will give you more time to forget what you've done. Because
but I mentioned
you
this
planned
in the planning or the audio of us planning that is a Patreon release. I can't work on something unless I physically have the paper in my hand and I'm writing. My brain cannot come up with new ideas while
I'm
it
not
thinks.
saying you'd use it to cheat. I'm saying it would be worse for you
I'd
because it
forget
would
my
trickle
stuff?
away.
Nah, it'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
I got a pretty good handle on my room. I'm gonna put my planning notebook away,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna grab my
Your
solving
playing
notebook.
notebook.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were separate.
All right, here's my solving notebook. It's
Mine
gonna-
are not separate.
I've got some space here. I'm gonna say Danny's mini cave room. I'm ready to go. Danny, would you like to whisk me away into a tiny room of your own devising?
All right, now I don't know if you took any inspiration from pre-existing materials, franchises, anything like that
that's
out
possible.
there.
It might be a reference or two.
But I saw this cave and I thought of The Rescuers.
I can't remember any caves in The Rescuers.
Oh, it's the whole frightening premise of the ending. Like, what's the little girl been done? She's been taken in by
Oh,
these
you're right.
evil gem hunters and sent down into a watery hell to try to find a gem that is down there.
So, okay, I'm on Gem Hunt.
And it is just like filling up with water as she goes, and it's horrifying.
Okay.
Tiny child.
All right, I'm ready to go.
Right. So let's just say that that's the situation you've been put in. Someone sending you down into this cave in a rickety lift that has been recently set up.
I'm really enjoying the fun synergy with my stuff. It's going to be a very fun little
I'm
juxtaposition.
really excited to hear how similar and different
this
they
is going
end
to be
up.
great. I'm really excited for this.
They press some buttons on the top panel. You don't really know what's going on. You hear gears clunking, and you get sent down and down into the dark.
Okay, back into the cold and dark.
It's really dark down here. You can't see anything basically. But let's see what happens if you clamber
I feel
along.
around.
Yeah. So if it were a square, let's
Sure.
just say it's a square.
Let's say it's a square.
You feel pretty quickly that there are walls to your up and your left, so you must be in the top left corner with the left.
Okay, great.
You crawl downwards, and somewhere overhead around this side, you hear some faint, some quiet cheeping.
Okay.
Sounds like bats.
Okay.
You keep going further down, and you feel not like is it some loosely sludged into the ground small rocks.
Okay.
You
Muddy
get what I
rocks.
mean? They're not like held there super firmly, but
Yeah, rocks in sludge.
yeah. Just keep crawling. Around the bottom right corner, you find yourself with a big lumpy rock.
Okay, big lumpy rock. Any of them feel like gems yet?
No, definitely not.
Damn.
I mean, maybe gems are a lot smoother than you expected.
Sure.
Then you crawl around the middle, you find some things. There's a bucket, there's a pickaxe,
Okay, bucket, pickaxe.
there's a hat, like one of those,
Ooh.
like a miner's
Like
hat.
a miner's
Yeah.
helmet. Feel like they wear helmets rather than hats.
Okay.
Okay, yep.
And then you crawl up to the top right corner and you feel around. There are some rocks. The wall still just feels sort of rocky, a bit crumbly. And then there's a big long divot in the side of it. And you feel in,
Okay.
and you stick your hand in,
Yeah.
and you pull it back.
Why?
You think
It's a
you
pain hole?
feel a rib cage.
Ugh. Okay. A skeleton. I'm also enjoying the fact that there's a skeleton in here.
Yeah, you get all the dramatic irony. I don't.
This is going to be... When people get to my room, no one has heard anything about this. You're going to love it, everybody.
That's it.
Okay.
You feel that. You are, I don't know if you're a tiny child
I'm a
or
tiny
not,
child. I'm a little girl, yeah.
but
I'm waiting
you-
for a two mice to rescue me.
That definitely freaks you out.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
But
freaked
that's
out.
all you got. You're in the dark.
It's
here.
dark.
Yeah.
Can I crawl back to the center of the room?
Mm-hmm.
The mining helmet. Classically, a mining helmet has a little light on it.
Yeah.
Does this one?
It does. It does have one. It's not on, or it is. It seems like it's like that tiny faint dot in the middle, like what you see when a light bulb is basically dead.
Oh, okay.
And
so I can't just turn it on for light?
You can't. As you're holding it in your hands, you do feel some texture on the hat, though.
Oh, can I feel it with my fingers to see if it's like lead text or anything?
Yeah, you can. Look, it's sort of. It could be text. Like, I would say you definitely feel like at the top there's a circle, and then a vertical line underneath, and then at the top of that vertical line are two outward going diagonal lines, like upward and outward diagonal lines on either side.
Towards the circle?
I mean, sort of going out to the sides of the circle.
Yeah.
And then at the very bottom of the vertical line, same
Opposite?
thing. Yeah.
I've drawn a little man.
Interesting.
I've drawn a little
interesting.
man. I've drawn a little stick figure with his arms going, hello!
And then you keep feeling around and you feel another circle and another vertical line.
Okay.
And this time, the diagonal lines at the very bottom, they're a little bit more close together.
Sure.
And there are two other vertical lines, but they're not going up and out this time. They're going down and barely out at all.
So it looks like I've got two images of a man doing jumping jacks.
And since when do you say jumping jacks?
Yeah, you're right. I've never said that before.
Australians call them star jumps,
They are
guys.
star jumps. Jumping. Well, I'm just in media mode.
And
I
then
suppose.
as you keep going around, you feel another one, and it feels exactly the same as the first one again, just in
Great.
case you weren't sure.
Yeah, wonderful. So I'm doing star jumps.
Mm.
Do you reckon, is this possibly a mining helmet that's powered much like a one of those like camping torches where you give it a little gyroscope rev up? If I put the hat on and I start doing star jumps,
Oh, it takes a lot of star jumps, but luckily you're a child. You have endless
a child
energy.
can do endless star jumps.
And you get that hat kinetically powered up.
Okay, I have light. It's a puzzle, everybody. A puzzle in a tiny room. This room, I'm enjoying this so far. Okay, now I can look. I look in the bucket.
Bucket's empty. It's functional, doesn't have a hole in it, but it's empty.
Dear Liza. Okay, it's just a bucket. And the pickaxe is just a pickaxe?
Yes.
Okay.
Nothing is sparkling around you. You can see from the walls. The walls don't look great in here. Let's put it that way.
Let me check if that really was a rib cage.
Mm.
Can I go back to the top right corner
Oh,
with my
yes.
new courage-based light form?
You can. You go in there, and so it's sort of a bit like a shelf that sinks in a bit, quite a bit. You can't
Okay.
necessarily reach all the way in. It starts to narrow out a bit. But yeah, that is a human skeleton in there. They look bigger than yours, but not much bigger, you
Oh,
suspect.
no.
It's hard to tell with a skeleton. They shrink down quite a lot. It kind of looks like maybe you're not the first one down here and someone couldn't get out.
Oh, no.
You do see, right by their feet in the most grabbable area, there is a tattered, leather-bound,
Journal?
moleskin-bound journal.
I grab the journal.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you have fully written out lines from this journal that you've written word for word in your half-hour planning.
I specifically bemoaned the fact that I wouldn't have time to do such
I
a thing.
read the journal. What does it say?
The journal says much what you would expect. I was sent down here. My friend persuaded me, as the strongest among us, to go and search for the fabled gem of Wakaro.
What did you look at? Sorry, everyone. What did you look at in this room? Oh, I have a fish above me, a plush fish that says Korowa, and Danny just rearranged it to Wakaro.
The fabled gem of Wakaro.
Okay, fabled gem of Wakaro, yep.
But when he lowered me down the rope, he left me here.
Oh no.
The rope has long since decayed. And I'm stuck. I have heard rumor that there is a spot in the wall where if you hammer it just right, a secret exit will be revealed. But looking at the walls in here, I don't dare pick the wrong spot and have this place cave in on me.
Ooh, okay, fun.
I've done my best to try to work things out. Maybe I'm not the first one who's been here, but all I can advise you if you followed me is hope your friends up the top are still there, ready to let you out.
Oh no, I don't trust my friends up the top.
Yeah, they're not your friends up the top.
Okay. Can I scour the walls with my... Is there anything notable about these walls themselves?
Not especially. You are right. They do look dodge. If you just started pickaxing
Yeah, the whole thing might
around,
collapse.
it might. Apparently there's one good spot somewhere, but visually you can't tell.
Okay. And if I knock on the walls? If I tatter-a-tat on the walls?
Your tiny child knuckles do not expose anything new.
Okay. Can I head to this large rock?
You can, and it does look like it's got some sort of symbols on it. And hold on, I need to find a place. Can I draw them in your notebook?
Yeah, draw the symbols. I'll
On
pass
this-
my notebook to you.
On this
Here's
rock?
a pencil. Draw the symbols. You've created an image. Hey everyone, Danny is currently drawing the symbols from one notebook into mine. But I'd like you all to know, Danny's having some trouble with some of these symbols, and it feels to me like they're workshopping the puzzle and
I
getting
thought
themselves
that
some extra time.
I thought that it worked, and it doesn't. I've just got one symbol that
I think
needs
you have to do it
fixing.
as they are, Danny.
But
You have to give me the failures that appeared during your half hour of
You
planning.
could. I mean, why would you want a failure?
I won't. I'm just saying, for people later on where you're like, oh wow, Danny's room is so much better than Bill's, just remember, they're cheating. Remember this. This is a lot of brainstorming, I'm just saying.
I understand. I don't want. You think I want this? Oh, why don't you work, you stupid thing? All right. It's going to be blank then.
Oh no! What,
No,
I
no.
just lost my puzzle?
Yeah, you've lost the piece that doesn't work.
Okay. So there's like a backwards C, but very rectangular. Then there's a big blank space where something didn't work. And then there's two symbols that are the same, one after the other. They look like it's like the bottom half of a rectangle, but if you cut it diagonally, so the left side is higher than the right, if that makes sense. Are they partially letters, perhaps? I don't know. But I'm not quite sure what to do, so I'm going to move on. Thank you, large rock. Let's look at these sludge rocks.
Oh, okay. So these sorts of sludgy rocks, they are sludgy on both sides. So, like on the side that you can see has sort of mud on them as well. So it looks like if you pick one up and flip it over, it's hard to tell what was originally in the mud or not.
Sure.
But these do have some roughly hewn letters.
Ooh, what letters are on the rocks?
Depends on which side you look, because each of these rocks has a dark side and a light side.
Oh, like Othello pieces.
I suppose you could say that. And there's quite a lot of them. There are 16 of these rocks. In fact, they're almost in a 4x4 rough grid.
Oh, should I draw this out?
Well,
that's too much info?
There's it would be 32 letters that I'd be telling you.
Okay. Could I make them in... No. I'm thinking of following the patterns of these large rock, but I'm not quite sure how that would work. I haven't seen a 4x4 grid anywhere other than these rocks. So I don't know what the input kind of thing would be. Unless a rib cage is a 4x4 grid. When did I check the bucket?
Mhm.
Did I check all sides of the bucket? Anything underneath it or in
nothing,
it? Okay, great.
Nothing hidden like that.
Okay, interesting. I'll ignore it for a second. What are these bats doing?
You look up at the bats with your
This 4x4 grid of bats, he said, hopefully.
with your crazy torch hat, and the bats freak out.
As you would expect.
And what they do as they freak out is they rush to the nearest available exit.
Oh no, that's me!
What?
They attack me!
No, they rush to the exit.
Oh, the lift?
Yeah, the lift hole.
Oh, okay.
The lift is just sort of there's just sort of a hole, like a tunnel sort of coming down.
So they go out through that way?
Oh, yeah, they go up now. They don't go all the way out. It's probably daytime or
Sure.
something out there. Instead, what they do is they go up into the tunnel and they nestle into little holes, so some holes in the sides
Oh, fun.
where you know the different gears of this lift are positioned.
Oh, weird. Okay.
And so they just go and they make their homes in various gear holes and cheapen disgruntlement.
Weird. Can I go back and have a look at the lift?
You can. So this lift, very bare bones controls. From what you're trying to remember of how these sort of things work, there's a number of different gears, and you think that the way to make it work in its old-fashioned liftitude is all of the gears were a different size. And to get down, you first would have to activate the biggest gear, and the next biggest gear, and then getting to the smallest gear, and that would take you in steps down.
Cool. But if I wanted to go up, I'd have to go the other way around?
It would have to be the other way around. So what you have is a control panel that's just basically got a left button, a right button, an up button, and an activate button.
Oh, okay. And if I press left, right, and up, what are the...
Well, if you look up, you can see in the tunnel the way that these wires and gears are sort of attached to each other is there are 3 gear holes on your left ascending and 3 gear holes on your right ascending.
Okay. And I have to know, but I don't know which one's the smallest or biggest gears, do I?
You hear bats chirping in bits and pieces out of each of them.
Would you say that the holes for the gears are of a similar size to the gears themselves? So, for example, a small bat could fit in a small hole, and a large bat would have to stand in a large hole.
Actually, it looks like all of the holes are about the same size, but you do know that the big gears would take up more space inside their holes.
So the smallest bats would be in the big gear holes if they were being forced out. So are the bats chirping at different frequencies?
Fewer bats.
Ah, okay. Can I listen individually to each of these holes and get an idea of how loud the battering is?
Absolutely, you can.
Okay, what's the loudness of my 3x2 grid? Where loudest would be smallest. Okay, so what's the loudest hole?
The loudest hole, you could tell most of them, as many that could, crowded right into the bottom right one.
Bottom right is the smallest. Great. Then the second loudest? That's hard, right?
Oh, totally. It would take a while to be able to figure it out, but luckily they're separated enough that you're pretty sure you can get a good differential. Your vertical hearing perception, because That's
why they hired me for this job.
It's because you're still a child. Time hasn't withered away your ear holes.
Yeah,
You've got a great sense for this. The top right.
Okay.
Then, etc., etc.
Yep.
Top left, middle right, bottom left, middle right.
Okay. I do them in that order.
Cool.
Of loudest to quietest.
Amazing. Like, this is a relief. The lift starts pulling you back up. But then, of course, as you get about, maybe halfway, something starts shaking.
Oh, no.
It's not supposed to. You try to look up. You can't really because you've got a roof. You can't see what's going wrong. But eventually, the wire starts zooming you right back down again.
Oh, no.
And not only that, you hear rumbling from above you.
Oh, no. What are they going to do? Drop a rock on me?
You race out of the lift as soon as it hits to the bottom. You ignore any pain that it might have caused because some of the rocks in that shaft just straight up collapse the tunnel.
Oh, no.
You hope the bats got out.
All right, okay, I need a way out.
Yeah, you are now fully trapped here. Not only that,
but
water starts trickling in from that area.
But water comes. Water comes in. Water comes in.
And rises a lot more steadily than you would hope.
Come
Come on, do the room. There's one more thing to do.
Okay, the water is rising.
There's water rising in here.
What about the sludge rocks?
They're still there.
What about my symbols on a large rock?
They're still there.
What about my shoes?
Yeah, they're probably goners.
What do I need water for? I washed the sludge off the rocks.
I mean, it was just mud.
Yeah.
You could already see everything that was on them.
If I pour water over the big rock, does it elucidate anything?
It doesn't, but those symbols, once the water level starts rising enough, they start to hit the bottoms of the symbols.
And?
I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, they're reflected. 3. I don't get that last.
They're ugly 4s.
Okay, they're ugly 4s. I don't know if they are ugly 4s, Dani.
They might be backwards.
Dani, I don't know. Look at those. I don't know if they are ugly 4s. I think you got that one wrong.
They might be backwards.
Okay. And what's the middle one? So the middle one didn't have a symbol.
Correct. That seemed like it faded away.
So there's
was something in
three
there.
something 4.
Yeah.
These are not 4s.
Also, I did that in the wrong order, but that's okay.
And okay.
That's okay. That can still work.
What do I do about 3 blank 4? It wouldn't be a rock, would it? Because they're not in like rock number 3 is a bit arbitrary in a 4x4 grid. Could be the third one down or the third one across.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know. I still got to know where on the walls to hit. Anything else to check with this skeleton hole? Is it a cubby? Can I reach in anything else in the cubby?
There's only so far that your hand can.
Oh, use the
reach
pickaxe
now.
to reach further?
Ooh, be careful. With the pickaxe. No, it's more like depth is getting to be the problem.
Oh, can I fill it with water?
You can fill it
Yeah,
with
see if
water.
anything floats to the top. I see.
Yeah.
I thought it was internal depth, not vertical depth.
Ah, okay.
So I need a longer arm, but no, I can like a crow, I can fill this with water.
Gotcha. All right. And what comes out is a little, I don't know, waterproof tube with another diary page in it.
And what does it say?
Okay. Let's see. It says
Roughly.
No, this isn't so much roughly as I think I've stuffed this one up as well. But good old rushing. But let's find out. Okay. It says, I should just write this one for you as well. It's going to take too long.
All right, write it down. Here's my notebook. Danny is just writing this one right down, not taking a while to reformat the words and things.
That's what you think.
Oh no, Danny's reformatting the words and things.
There you go.
It says B blank BWWB blank B blank BWW blank WW. Black and white for the dark and light sides of a crombo. But how do I know? Like that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I should skip some? Are there notable amounts of if that's one skip? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, it looks to me like it is 1 blank space here, 2 blank spaces between this B and that B, then only 1 blank space here and 1 blank space here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm going to try that. And I'm going to just go left to right, and then the next line, and then the next line, and then the next line. Okay. That's how I'm going to do it on the sludge rocks. So if I start in the top left,
okay.
What's the first black letter?
T.
This is bad, Danny.
What?
Okay,
What's wrong with that?
Then I don't do the next one.
Okay.
Oh, but it's not a new word. I thought this was a 1-letter word that was the word T.
Oh.
But I just skipped the next rock. Okay. What's the next black letter?
O.
Of the
next
third rock.
O.
O. And then the fourth rock.
Wait. Sorry. Did you skip or did you not skip? I can't tell from the way you're keeping notes.
Skip. Okay. T, then nothing.
Yep.
Then O.
Yep.
Then the white one.
S.
And again, the next one white.
T.
Okay, and then the next one black.
E.
And then nothing. I skip the next rock. I skip the next rock. And the rock after that, black.
L.
Then I skip the next rock. And then the one after that,
F.
And then white.
T.
And then white.
T.
Then I skip the next rock.
Okay.
And then last 2 whites on the rocks.
M. B.
T blank OSTE blank blank L blank FT T blank MB. Lift tomb, it seems at the end there. Maybe. T something OSTE Prost. What would that be?
To help, I would suggest looking at the big rock.
Ooh.
Just to faintly help.
2 could be the number 2, and then.
Why would that be?
Because that's the missing. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Why would it be? Oh, it's not a 3, it's a W.
No, it's a 3.
Oh. then it wouldn't be a W here. What are you talking about? Why? Why would I put a W? Because there's a blank space between a T and an O and it's a number, and I've got another numbers up there.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean? Look at the rock.
Sorry.
And then I found a W, and you're like, no, you idiot.
Yeah,
that
that's
W's a 3.
That's just
So then why would it be a W? It wouldn't. It's only a W because I wanted the number 2. There's no W on the large rock.
It's a 3.
Okay, so I'll put a C there. Taco. There's also 5 missing letters and only 3 things that I've been given symbols of on the rock.
Ooh, yeah, I would definitely, obviously, in more than 2 minutes
yeah.
to write this, I would neaten this and
Oh, it's perfectly
make
fine.
different things
But when you told me,
missing.
like, why is it?
I just wanted to hurry it up because I want to get to yours. And this is like the last puzzle.
Steel lift tomb, 3 something 4. I don't know how I can guess it. Do I presume I don't have to guess these missing letters, or do I?
No. But also, like, I would rather that you figure out what the big rock is doing before I
mean, it's a 3, then blank, and then 2 sort of 4s.
At this point, I can just tell you your options for the missing letters.
Oh yeah, what were the blank ones there?
So the second one, you are choosing between a T and a W.
Okay, I'll choose the W. And then the next one?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th rock.
An L or a P.
Great. 8th rock.
An L or an S.
2 steps. And then the 2 rocks after that.
An E or an I.
Left instead of lift. And then the third last rock.
Third last rock. An M or an O.
So it's got to be tomb. Because it's not tomb. 2 steps. Lift tomb or left tomb. Right? Unless it's 2 stepple. 2 stells. 2 steps left of the tomb. Can I?
Which is 3 letters, then 5 letters, then 4 letters, then 4 letters.
Oh, but yeah, because the fact that the 5 is missing makes it a little tough to know that that's what's going on with the large rock.
I mean, maybe you could certainly figure out that the last words were probably 4 letters each.
True.
But yeah, with arbitrarily selected things.
So the large rock was a hint for the small rock puzzle.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, I go 2 steps left of the tomb,
Mhm.
and I hammer the wall with my axe, or I pick it with my hammer.
You break a precarious but manageable hole out and get swept out with some water, and probably exit a sewage pipe. But you'll be surrounded by gems, so it's okay.
Nice. I have a million gems, and I've solved the room. I love it. What a fun little room. A nice little cave. You weren't expecting a cave when we started this whole endeavor, but you had to do a cave.
So what I'm getting out of this, just in my one sentence solution, is I can write a room in half an hour, but it needs a lot more playtesting than the ones I don't write in half an hour.
True. Awesome. I loved it. It was great fun.
Sure,
it's a silly. What do you know? It's great. I love the bats. I like the little the puzzle for the. But we'll talk about this in the post show.
Yeah.
Dani, are you ready to play my room?
Let's do it.
Now, what was your room about? Your room is about a person who goes down into a cave looking for a gem and finds a skeleton. Great.
You are a skeleton. Am I a skeleton, Billy?
It's been many years since you were resurrected by the necromancer and placed to guard the treasure inside his cave.
Oh no!
Adventurers keep delving down into this cave looking for treasure, and you, as a skeleton, are there to fight them off. But you've grown tired. You've grown tired and weary of being a skeleton. You're afraid of the dark, and you live in a cave. Your skeletal eyes are magically enhanced, but they can't see in the dark. You only light sources for when adventurers come down to bother you. Usually. You've decided you want to leave the cave, get back to the surface, and start an adventure as a good skeleton.
I wonder if I can.
Hell, You hope so.
Hmm.
As of right this moment.
Not as in, like, can I get out of the cave?
As in, can
but
you exist outside of the
exactly,
necromancer's
will
cave?
the magic allow me to?
Who knows? You're sitting at the bottom of this cave near the treasure. The treasure that
okay.
heroes come to
final
find. You're a
obstacle.
you're part of the final obstacles. But you don't want to go into the dark. You don't like it out in the dark. So as of now, you're restricted to the area right in front of you, which is the only place where there is a light source. So in this dark area around you, don't worry, your map can be kind of whatever as it goes. I've got a map, but let's call this the bottom middle of the cave.
Okay.
You can hear you're in a cave. Water is dripping.
Gotta
It's
have dripping water in a
echoey.
cave.
Stone floors and stone walls rise around you. Behind you, you can see a big pile of glowing treasure.
Right.
Gold coins, crystals, gems, and the only light source in the room currently, 2 large glowing orbs
Ooh.
sitting in the middle of this treasure pile. In the faint light that these orbs provide, you also see at your feet 3 corpses
Okay.
of recently killed adventurers. You yourself didn't kill these adventurers. You've become a conscientious objector of late, but they are dead. You see one, a wizardly looking corpse in long robes holding a staff.
Mm-hmm.
Another appears to be a knight in armor with a sword. And the third is some kind of dwarf. He's carrying a... You're not quite sure what it is. Maybe a shield, maybe you'd have to look closer. And that's it. That's everything in your immediate vicinity. You don't want to go too far and stray into the dark unless you have a light source that you can take with you.
And I can't pick up one of those glowing orbs?
You turn to the treasure and you try and grab a glowing orb. It's a light source. Oh, you already forgot. I don't know how you could have forgotten. As you reach in to grab the orb, you begin to pull it out and you hear, "Brr!" This is Jerry, the treasure anglerfish.
Oh, no.
What are you doing? You just saw me kill these 3 guys for trying to steal the treasure.
I see.
Have you forgotten to leave my orbs alone? I lure prey with those. I get you don't want to be part of the fighting, but come on, man.
Jerry, if that's what his name was that I just came up with, is disgruntled. You can't take the orb with you.
Okay. I go for the other orb.
Hey, that's my other angle.
Oh,
I
you
got
have
2
two?
of them. Yeah, I'm an advanced species of treasure anglerfish. I got 2 mouths as
Gotcha.
well.
Okay, gotcha. Look, if any of these adventurers is likely to cause light to happen, I'd assume it's the wizard, but I am really curious about what this dwarf is holding. I would love to prod at it.
Yeah, you prodded the dwarf. On his back, he seems to be just a very large, semi-spherical metal container. It looks kind of like a big wok or a saucepan. Strange guy.
Okay.
You search the rest of his pockets, and all you find is some cooking supplies. There's a bit of oil, there's a bit of salt, things like that.
I asked you if you took anything from existing franchises.
Yeah, maybe a little. just the taste of Dungeon Meshi.
Okay, oils and sauces and things. All right, that's exciting. How much fire can I cause?
You also see he has a little thing of flint, although he doesn't seem to have anything you can strike it against.
Okay, we're getting to stuff where I'm not.
If you
good
hit
at...
this with a piece of something, it would create a spark.
Right.
But you don't have anything to hit it with.
I mean, I assume a sword would do the job, right?
Maybe.
But, okay,
if only
so-
you had a sword.
Yeah, so I can make fire happen, but I don't know why I'd want just yet outside of it's light, I suppose, but can I control it? I don't know. And all right, tell me about this wizard stuff.
I didn't say there was a wizard staff.
You did?
I said there was a wizard. Maybe I said he had a
You
staff.
said he had a staff.
You go to the wizard. It's
You
an
said he had
old.
robes and a staff.
If I wanted to stick with the fiction, it'd be a young elf woman. But I'm
Yeah.
going to call it an old man with a big beard.
Uh-huh.
Not carrying anything on him or anything that hasn't been looted by other monsters. He has a staff.
Mhm.
Oh, disappointingly, if any wizard staff can cast spells, this one looks like it's broken. The top has been completely destroyed, and all that's left is sort of the bottom handle part of the staff, probably a wooden
Totally okay.
wooden stick
That's what I was
about
hoping.
4 feet long.
All right. So here's what I do. I take the wok.
Yep.
I put some oil in the pan. I take the knight's sword. I don't look at it. I just take the knight's sword.
Yep.
I take the wizard's wooden half staff
Mhm.
and I break it into a few other pieces. And I I discard them completely, and I chop off the wizard's beard hair, and I put that into the wok, and use the sword and the flint and the oil to make a little fire out of that.
Oh, and you're going to carry it around in the wok?
I am.
Okay. I pictured you using the stick and putting some wizard robe around the end of it, putting oil on it, making it a flaming
How
torch.
funny.
But a wok fire is perfectly fine by me. You've used elements from all three adventurers. You are dragging a wok full of fire. As you light the fire, you see the whole room lights up, and you can see. And now you feel brave enough to try and find your way out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the treasure was the greatest thing to see in this room. As it lights up, there's not really much more to look at. All you see is there are 3 paths that you can go down. To your west is a pathway that you've seen some people going down before. Adventurers and dungeon monsters alike have gone down that pathway. To the right, you see, or to the east rather, you see another path going off, and from there you hear more of the sort of water dripping sounds. And to the north, right in front of you, there is a pathway that leads out. You are scared of this pathway.
Oh.
All you know is it leads into the deadly maze.
But I love mazes.
The deadly maze.
Well, I can't go right because there's water there that'll put out my fire.
That's true.
So I think I assume that in character-wise, I can't just go straight ahead, it feels. So I guess I've got to figure out what's off to the west.
You head down the western passageway. Scraping your wok behind you, you trudge down this echoey chamber. And eventually you get to the end and you see it's like a dead end, a cul-de-sac of cave,
Right.
a cave-de-sac,
Mhm.
a cul-de-cave. And you see a slightly strange sight. You see a wooden desk.
That's great.
It's adorned with trinkets and potions, and behind it you see a little hobgoblin.
Oh.
And as you approach, he pokes his head up and he says, "Oh, customers! Oh, a skeleton. You don't have any money. What do you need?"
Do you know, is there like a map to the deadly maze or something?
Over his shoulder, you see a big glass cabinet. And in the middle of it is a large piece of paper, and a label sits atop the cabinet that says, "Map of the Deadly Maze."
Okay.
Oh, yes, I have one right here.
Oh, that would be great. What do I need to do to get that?
Well, you need to pay me 200 gold.
100 gold. I mean, I know where there's a lot of gold.
You mean that treasure pile?
Yeah.
I can't accept that. That belongs to our necromancer lord. If he
Oh,
knows I'm taking money from the treasure pile, he'll have me murdered.
I thought that you were just like an external contractor and weren't beholden to him.
No, I'm allowed to sell my wares to heroes as well, but I always put a little poison in the potion so they die. It's a fun bit that we do here.
That's wild. I see.
But listen, I'll tell you what. I'm in a bit of a pickle. I'm not allowed to leave the stand because, well, this is my job, just like yours is. Well, in fact, why did you leave the... That's not for me to ask. But listen, my brother's gone missing.
Oh, no.
If you can help find him, he's got to be around here somewhere.
Well, if he's in the maze, I know a great way that could help me find him.
I don't think he'd go to the maze. He always used to say, "I'll never go to the maze."
Okay. All right, that's fair.
Have a look around. If you can find my brother, I'll give you a map of the maze.
Oh, wow. That's a 200 gold brother. That's fascinating. You value him. Okay.
I do.
Yeah, that's cool.
We're the only 2 brothers left.
Ever.
No, of our family.
Oh.
There were originally 17 boys.
I prefer that you're the only brothers ever.
We're the last brothers in existence in this world we live in. The necromancer kills every brother.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess that feels like, despite the dripping, I've got to just be extra careful with my walk. No, wait. It's no, that's okay. I can make this work. I gotta take it. I've got oil in here, and we know that oil floats on water,
That's true.
so I'll be able to start the fire again, even if I get wet. It's
Great.
okay. That's okay. All right, so I'm gonna go off to the east then and see if there is any hobbrother here.
You head down the eastern passageway. You can hear water dripping and dropping and drapping as you travel, but not in any way that gets you worried about your oil fire. Occasionally a little drip falls into your wok and immediately sizzles away
Better.
as you walk down the eastern passageway until eventually it opens up and you see well, I would say a large, but actually a fairly small underground lake.
Okay.
Looking around you as you enter this lake,
Mhm.
you see that there's a little bit of shore, and to your left you see 4 strange glowing mushrooms. And in fact, these mushrooms, the glow lights up a lot of the room. You can leave your fire slightly away from the water because the mushrooms themselves run, the roots run along the walls of the cave,
Oh, okay.
covering it. And you can see more mushrooms, much larger ones, spread out throughout the walls of the cave all around,
Mhm.
Including, as you look behind you, some directly above your head here on this, I was going to say southern wall. Yeah, southern wall. It turns around.
Okay.
So southern wall.
Hmm.
Now, as a skeleton, you can't swim. Your bones are dense. You would fall to the bottom of any lake.
It's only fair. That came up in mine because there's water in there. I had to
Yeah,
say,
that's fine.
wait, bones don't float.
In this case, the bones
float,
definitely don't
otherwise
float.
the ocean would be all bones.
The lake itself is full of stalagmites that reach up
Mhm.
throughout and through the water and up. And in the center, you see a boat.
Oh, okay.
The boat is currently facing to the east. It has a rounded sort of prow at that side. It's flat on all other sides, as boats are. And it has a little sail
Oh, okay.
in the middle.
Oh.
There is, of course, no wind in this cave.
No, not so much.
It's a cave, in case people have forgotten that this was a cave-themed room. And there's one other thing in the boat.
A little guy?
A little hobgoblin.
Little guy.
As he sees you, he says, Oh, could you help me? I'm stuck here in the middle of this lake.
Yeah. Goodness.
Goodness indeed. I have a sail I've put down, but there doesn't seem to be any wind.
I had an oar to get out here, but as you can see, he holds up a stick. He just has a long stick that ends with no oar.
Oh, no.
It's just a stick.
Did it break or did something eat it? Or did you plan
It was
this
eaten
poorly?
by one of the monsters in this lake.
Oh, man. Okay, so I can't ask Jerry for help.
No.
Definitely my first thought was, did Jerry want to come here?
Is there anything you can do to help?
That's a very good question.
Well, I'll wait till you come up with an answer.
All right, I need to learn something about these mushrooms, I suppose. They seem to be the main port of call. Do you know anything? What's your name, sir?
Mine? Prom?
Okay.
There's a B at the end. It's silent, though.
Yeah, I get that. All right, Prom, do you know anything about these mushrooms? Should I be worried in any way?
Oh,
Or can I poke them freely?
I mean, I'd poke him if I were you.
Oh, okay. All right, well, I'll look at the
But
ones.
I got stuck in a lake.
I'll look at the ones closest to me first.
Yeah, you look at the ones close to you. There's 4 mushrooms. They're sort of laid out in a diamond pattern,
Oh,
I
okay.
suppose. One at the kind of the north end of the diamond, one on the south end, one on the west end, one on the east end.
Sure. All right, now they're all connected to things in the walls. Are they pluckable mushrooms?
You go to pluck a mushroom and it doesn't pull up. You can't make it come up.
Is it the opposite? Is that a pressable mushroom?
You take your skeletal hand and you press down on the top of which mushroom?
The left one. The west one.
West mushroom. As you do, you see the whole mushroom system sort of lights up, and you see that the roots of this one explicitly head over to the west wall. And the large mushrooms on the west wall, the tops, the caps of them
Do they go
opens up, and they go, "Bwah," and air starts flowing across. Immediately, the sail of the boat starts to fill, and it begins to travel eastward.
Right.
How long do you want to press this thing? Do you want to hold it or just Now that you've seen that it does anything.
Yeah, no, I'll pull it up a bit. Is he going to run into a stalagmite or something?
You see he's gotten the stick out and he's pushed himself back to where he started on a stalagmite that he was about to run into.
Okay.
He goes, oh, that could help.
All right. Is there special that I need to do for this? I'm in the south now, from what I understand, so I feel like I'll press the north mushroom.
You press the north mushroom, hoping that the boat will come south towards you. As you do, however, the boat currently is aligned directly east and west.
Mm-hmm.
So the side of the boat is to the north. Now, usually you'd hope a little boat like this, the sail would sort of catch and it would turn the boat. But instead, something about this poorly constructed boat means that as the air hits the side of it, it begins to tip. You can see Prom the goblin is hanging onto the mast, like, whoa, stop that! Stop that! I'm going to fall into the water!
Yeah. All right, what if I press like the north and the east at once, say?
It starts to kind of go west while tipping, and it's not very good. But you now know you can make it travel east and west. South or north will start to tip it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you an image.
Oh, okay.
I definitely made this image. Here it is in a digital format. Here you are.
Oh, okay. So it's a stalag map, I guess.
You have a stalag map, and I'll let you figure it out. Let you play. You have a goblin with a stick in a boat and a stalag map.
Right. So I'm wondering if some of them are single stalagmites, but some of them are almost in little loopy sections. Are those little loopy sections safe from tipping or something like that? So I guess maybe I'll try pressing the east mushroom to make myself go west towards this little cluster.
You hit the east mushroom and the boat, traveling as it is currently oriented east-west, pushes back into this clump of stalagmites. And as it does, it basically hits them and stops. But because there's sort of a curved clump of stalagmites, the boat can't go. He gets the stick and he tries to turn himself at all, and he can't. The boat's basically locked in place, hitting that as a barrier. And
okay, so those are bad. So in which case...
This isn't helping me get to the shore at all!
All right, I'll try the opposite, where he was going towards a single stalagmite. Do you have some way that you can make that turn? I'm having trouble picturing the physics of this.
I've got a stick. Maybe I can push myself. I can turn 90 degrees when I hit it.
Okay. So let's try to make that happen. In which case...
Which way should I go?
You should orient yourself. Looks like towards the north would be the best way to do it.
Hold the western mushroom, pushing the air from the west as the boat travels east, as he hits this stalagmite.
To the south, there's another cluster.
He reaches out with his stick and he manages to push just a little bit. And then that rounded front of the boat, the angled front, catches on that stalagmite and pushes the whole boat to the left. It is now facing northwards and it is on that square.
All right, so I've got a few ways that I can...
So as it goes, at any of these stalagmites, you can turn 90 degrees left or right, however it is oriented in the space.
Is it... Wait. What do you mean?
Then that one's a little bit off to the left of the square. Don't worry about it. If you hit that square, you can go left or right.
Okay. So not at all depending on how it's oriented in the square.
Exactly. Independent of how it's oriented.
Oh, I thought... Okay.
Yeah.
Clearly misunderstood. All right.
Or I misspoke. That's fine.
So it looks like, based on where these are going, that I would then have to go... I want the boat to go north, then east, then south, then... Could I keep going south, or do I have to make a turn?
The boat will hit the stalagmite, and so you have to pick which way it's going to push you.
All right, so from there, I've gone south, then I would need to go west, south, east, south, then... wait, am I going... I can't possibly hit those little guys, right?
No, they look like they're out of the way.
Yeah, good. Then all the way west, and then south should get to shore.
You
Does that feel right?
follow those directions, pinging and ponging around each of these lines, and you make your way. And eventually, the boat...
He makes his way.
He makes his way, and the boat arrives on the southern shore, and he says, "Thank you!
Yay!
Thank you for saving me!
Your brother Crom needed you.
Oh, I better get to work. Bye!"
That was the right one, wasn't it?
I didn't know if we got a name.
He didn't.
It could be Crom.
I had a 1 in 17 apparently
That's
shot.
true. See you later.
No, I'm coming with you.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to grab the other handle of this big wok fire?
Oh, that'd be very...
Save your dragon it?
No, you know what? It's I think it's pretty hot right now. I don't think living hands could handle it.
All right, bye.
Cool. No, stop. Slow down.
No, I'm getting ahead of you. You're dragging a walk, idiot. He runs off.
All right. Well, then I slowly get there. I find my way back to the hobgoblin at the desk and say, "That was me. Don't listen to him. I did it."
He says, "Oh, no, that's fair. He told me exactly that you did it."
Okay.
I did. I told him that.
All right.
I give credit where it's due.
Well,
I don't give credit where it's due, however. No, that's fine. Here, have a map to the
thank you.
death maze. Is that what I called it? Here you
Yeah.
are.
Hey, Jom? Was it Jom?
No, Crom. Jom's one of my dead
No.
brothers.
Who's the other one?
Oh, I'm Prom.
Prom.
Jom's
thank
one of
you.
my dead brothers.
Sorry. Well, speaking of dead brothers, would you like to know how much Crom values your life at?
I would assume an infinite amount.
Well, wouldn't you just? I'll leave. Okay. All right. I've got a map to the death maze. I guess I've got to go through the death maze.
Yeah.
What is this map telling me?
It tells you a perfect way through the death maze.
Then I take it.
As you travel through the death maze, you have a map so you can avoid all of the traps here in the death maze.
Mm-hmm.
You avoid the crushing spikes that drop from the ceiling. You avoid the pools of acid that dissolve your little foot bones unless you
Aw.
have a map. You avoid the setups where they're marked on your map as careful, cave in. You avoid those cave ins, and eventually you get yourself all the way to the end of the death maze, and you find a way out, at least up to the next level, if not out. A ladder. A wonderful ladder. Except, you can't get to it. There's a door in front of the ladder, a metal door. You can see through it to see the ladder is right behind it, but the door itself is locked fast with a big metal padlock. It's a little old and rusted, but a padlock it remains.
Oh, man. I truly don't know what to do about this.
Yeah, there's just a metal padlock.
I hit it.
You hit the metal
Rusty.
padlock.
I'm a skeleton.
It goes
Surely I can fit through.
No, you can't. The
What?
bars are skeleton proof, almost as if they're designed to keep you in.
Outrageous.
How would you get rid of this metal issue? The metal itself, if you look closer, it does seem a little weak, a little
Like,
on the verge. Like, you can't hit it hard enough to break it, but
yeah,
compared to the metal around it, it looks like it's not in the best condition.
I feel like I have to compartmentalize my wok fire here, and like set up. I'll go back and I'll take some of those sticks that I didn't burn up. The wizard hair is running out by now.
Yep, of course.
So in a corner of the room, I can set up a little temporary fire here.
You set up a little temporary
Yeah.
fire so you can see.
So by the time I'm back to the maze, I have to dunk out my wok fire. So I'd like
Okay.
to pick up some deadly maze acid.
You go back with the wok to get some deadly maze acid. Luckily, this wok is very,
Still-
very fancy.
It's still coated with oil.
And
so
as you dip it in, while the wooden handles start to dissolve away, lucky you have fireproof bone hands, the metal itself for this wok seems quite special and good condition, and you can fill it with the acid. Although already you can hear it starting to eat through the wok. This is not going to last forever. What do you do with your acid wok?
I drag it back to the big lock, and I go, "Huh."
You throw it at the big lock and miss completely. Oh, well, I guess you're stuck here forever. No, the lock dissolves. The door opens and the ladder to freedom is right in front of you. Cursing the name of the necromancer who, he brought you to life. You have no memory of your life before being a skeleton. Maybe you're not even the same soul. Who knows? You don't know how the magic works,
Yeah.
but you know you're fed up with your years in the dungeon. And you begin to escape this cave. You head up into the world. Tune in next season for Adventures of Skeleton Boy.
As soon as you hit the sun, you disintegrate into fine bone mist.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
The audience can decide for themselves how your story ends.
Amazing.
All right, there you are. You solved the room.
Well done on creating the cave stalagmite puzzle without it being broken.
It took a bit of time. All right, We will discuss these in the post-show. Thank you everybody for listening. I hope you enjoyed 2 weird mini cave rooms. Thanks for listening to Escape This Podcast. Stay tuned for next week's episode where we discuss the escape room we just did with the guest we just had. This podcast is kept afloat by crowdfunding, so if you enjoy the show, why not support it on Patreon? There's weekly bonus audio for our $5 donors, monthly videos for our $10 donors, monthly trivia for our $20 donors, and anyone at any level can appear as an NPC in one of the rooms that Dani designs. And thanks again for listening.